Hi guys, good evening to you. We are going to be playing a session at a local home game that I play in. Let's get right into it. Pick up pocket 8s under the gun. This is going to be at a lot of the players' ranges. We're going to open it up for 3x raise. We make it $3. The hijack, which is a tight, middle-aged white male, makes it 15. We've ran into it before, and this is a pretty typical spot, squeeze spot, and folds back to me, and I make the call. We're about $80 deep, so I think we got very good implied odds, and I think I'm ahead of a lot of his range. Anyhow, even if I didn't have the odds. So the flop is a king of spades, queen of spades. Also has 2 spades. Just right, and then the queen of clubs. I check. It's a natural standard check, and he bets 25. On this board, there's not many hands that should be betting that much. Pocket queens would not bet that much. Pocket kings would not bet that much. This seems a lot like maybe an ace queen or ace king or a non-nutted hand. And so with that in mind, I'm in raise. I make it 50 to go. And there's a lot of draws out there, and my hand should probably, it's really not going to improve anymore. So, if he has it, sometimes they're just going to have it here. And so, yeah, we bump it up to 50. I got about 40 behind. I'm glad to get stacks in if we have to. So he tanks and decides on a call. So I'm liking my spot. There's a lot of draws out there. And let's see a turn. The turn is the 6 of hearts. Pretty serious. It's a brick, as we like to say. Doesn't really change anything. But with our stack sizes, I think we just have to check. And so he bets, 40. And given what our likely range is and what his perceived range, we have to call. And he turns over ace jack of spades. Yeah. So he has got nothing right now. And I wouldn't have put him on that specific hand. But yeah, we're gonna right now we should scoop. I mean, we got a faded jack, a king, an ace, a 10, a spade. Yeah, so I mean we're not, if you the hand you gotta say, if the hand were to end right now, do we win the pot? And if you can say yes, then hey, that's poker. So anyhow, the river comes a 9, and it's a red 9, so we're gonna take this one down. And we got king queen in the button. They're on the button. I did decide to button straddle. Most people at the table don't like it because it kind of puts pressure on the small blind. It's going to make his range be a little kind of capped. But anyway, yeah. So I button straddle to 2. Small blind makes a 10. She's 50, 55-year-old white female. She hasn't played many pots. I think her range is pretty wide though, because she hasn't played much, and I feel like she's just kind of getting impatient. So it folds to me, and with King Queen, that's from Broadway, we're gonna defend here, and yeah, we call. All right, so the flop. So the flop comes King 7-6. Certainly a good flop for us. She bets a standard C bet. She's probably betting 100% of her range here. She bets 12 into 20. Very standard size. I don't think there's not much we can do here besides call. But with that being said, if she just has a stronger king, then so be it. We're about 200 big blinds deep, so let's build a pot. So I decided to make it 48. This is a pretty standard raise, and at the least, if she just has it, we're just gonna have to call off. And but if she just calls, her range is capped. She shouldn't have too many pocket 7s. She shouldn't have too many pocket 6s. I got a king. There's a king on the board, so she really shouldn't have pocket kings. God forbid if she has pocket kings. There's literally only 2 there'll be only one combination. It's actually 2. It's only 2 cards. So pocket kings, she probably doesn't have it. So what's she betting 12 on this flop with? And that's really what we want to find out. I mean, this is when you bet or when you raise, you really want to kind of see where you're at. With the premiums, you just want to let them hang themselves. With the draws, just getting you call. You're almost always. I mean, you're not going to be less than 2 to 1, or plus 100, like in sports betting. Like you'll never have a risk 11 to win 10 situation. It's always going to be risk 1 to win 1 or more. So in the draws, you kind of have to call pretty much any bet. So really, the only time you really want to raise, or I raise, it's kind of on these middling hands where you want to find out where you're at. So we make it 48, and she tanks. So that's a great sign, and she calls. All right, so there's about 48 times 2, and then there's about 116 in the pot, and we got about 100 behind, so we're in great shape. The turn is a complete brick. It's a jack. That reduces her having pocket jacks, reduces her combinations of ace jack. She's less likely to have king jack now that there's king and jack on the board. So before even she even acts, I stick it out there. I'm calling whatever she does. So she checks. When I do that, she pretty much has to check. And anyway, she called. And she's got ace king, and so we're not in terrible shape. We can we got queen that we can get to. There's and this is just a cooler. Anyway, the river was another jack. It was even more unlikely that she has king jack 2 pair, which would have been a full house. So she got it in really, really thin. And when I play, I really that's kind of gambling stuff that, whenever I get it in, I want to make sure that I got that hand won, and that one, shit, that I easily could have had two pair. I could have had King Jack. So yeah, we're gonna rebuy. All right, and this is going to be our last 10 tonight, and it for sure is going to be a big one. And by this time it's getting late. It is about probably 1:15, 1:45. Yeah, it's almost 2 in the morning, and hey, the table is we started with 2 tables, and now we're down to 1, and yeah, there's probably for a 1-1 game, it's playing like probably a 5-10 pocket aces. This is a premium hand. It doesn't get any better than this, and this is why we come to these games. All right, and so we are on the button. Nothing better than looking down at pocket aces and your last act. All right, so it folds to us actually, and we just sometimes we're gonna take the non-standard route, and I just decided to call the dollar. Also, the players in the small blind and big blind are pretty lag, which is a loose aggressive. Well, the big blind is, but the small blind is a tag. So we, there's a chance they raise it, and then we can repop it. They decided to check, so we're going 3 ways to a flop. Flop is 10, 7, 6. We should be way ahead of their ranges. And in our range, they don't even think about aces. They're probably doing a range of like 2 to maybe kings, because they got to think. Man, aces is definitely isn't gonna raise this. So anyway, the big blind leads out for 12. This is a big bet. It's about 4x pot, But when we're this deep, we have we have to call. And there is a flush draw, and that is that's something we don't really touch on in this podcast, this video vlog. Is sometimes when you have that suit, see, we have that suit, and there's 10, 7, 6. The 10 and the 7 are spades, and we have the ace of spades, and so what that means is if he's on a flush draw, which he certainly can be, that he's less likely to get there if we have a spade, because it's cutting down the number of spades that could hit the board. And so, I'm really liking my chances. And then the turn comes, and you guessed it, it's an ace. I got to this game at about 9:30, and we finally got there. We got an ace. So he leads out for 35. That's still over pot. I'm just gonna let him hang himself, and I like even if he does have 8-9. Which is only one hand, which is, we don't have any blockers to 8-9, but it's still literally, it's only, 2 out of the 13 cards, but he's got to have both of them. So if you think about that, that's, yeah. So he bets 35, and we just call. And then we get to the river, and the river is a queen. So now King Jack's it gets there. But in this game, this player is a thinking player. He's a little bit older than me. I'm the youngest at the table, but he's gonna do the right. He's gonna make the non-standard plays and kind of put people under pressure. So King Jack, he could easily have that. But he bet 65 into a pot of about 110. This is a normal feeler bet. I mean, this is he's seeing where he's at. And he's scared of Jack 10 or King 10. Yeah, King Jack. So, he doesn't have King Jack, but he could though. But he's feeling us with that $65 bet. So I decided to bump it up to. I actually add on. I said I was 300 effective, but then, being last to act, everybody's watched. I actually added on when the hands, as soon as I saw the aces. So anyway, he bet 65, and I made it 365. So this is standard raise. This is what I was mean with those middling hands, where you want to really kind of put the pressure on other middling hands, because he shouldn't have King Jack. We don't have any blockers, but yeah. So anyway, we make it 365, and he tanks. That's a great sign. There's a lot of 2-pair combos, 10-6. Because his range is undefined in the big blind. And, because the big blind's $1 and he's got $1 and he didn't have to do, he really didn't have to have cards. So he's thinking, and he's in the tank for probably 5 seconds, and he calls. And he's got 8-9. So, yeah, we're gonna lose just this cooler. Yeah, so anyway, in the night, so yeah, just, you got poker, you just have wins and losses, and, this is just an L, and, L's happen, and, you just gotta make sure you win more times than you lose, and so far I'm doing that. This is just one L, and yeah, sometimes they get there, So, but thanks for watching, and I appreciate all of my viewers.